thanks for joining me. I'm going to introduce you to a piece of work that we've run out with a client, and it might have some interest for you in your organisation. What we're doing is taking an approach that's based in appreciative inquiry, and we're asking people to maybe reflect on some of their recent experiences as they've been working from home and other places, and then to see what they would like to carry forward into the workplace as we move forward to what's I think is going to be a largely blended approach. Anyway, take a look, and if you think there's something here that we can productively have a conversation about, really happy to do so. So, a working title. This can of course be adapted to suit your particular team, your needs, your aspirations, and the messages that you'd like to send out. A sensitive one, and I completely get it, that for a number of our team members, maybe a small number, they will have been directly affected in a very destructive way by the impacts of COVID-19. I also feel it's worth acknowledging that there has been strength in adversity, and these strengths have been grown. I think that when we sort of take a look at what's been going on over the last 3 years, it does give us a bit of context that uncertainty and change has been with us, but it's been under a particularly sharp focus over the last 12 months or so. And one of the things we have to do is to acknowledge and respect our shared humanity. So for a number of reasons it's been a difficult time. The first two are pretty clear. Bullet through maybe not so clear. Bargaining. That's about where people have almost said to themselves, look, I've behaved fine here, I've looked after myself, I've looked after my family, and yet people who I know have become ill, and it's through no fault of my own, and I'm angry about it, I'm angry about still being off work, and so on. And certainly it's been a time where our previous certainties have been challenged in an unforeseen way. So this particular piece of work, the first phase, it brings people together, and as you can see, virtual or in real time and space, hopefully it won't be too long until we can do that. And we're using an approach here that's it's centred around appreciative inquiry. It's conversational, it's aspirational, and then we get into some quite real time and future focused stuff where we're actually designing these powerful ideas that we've had and spoken about. How could we design them into practice? How could we design them into what it is we do as we move forward? And how are we going to deliver on this? So we move from the aspirational to the practical. And I'm going to bet that we may have taken a bit of time and a bit of effort to get people here. So now we've got them here, let's get them doing something. Let's have a look, shall we? I'm asking people to choose two out of the following questions. Out of the following three questions, here's question one. So straightforward. Personal strengths inventory. Quite interesting when we take a look at used rarely. Is there a strength I've got here that no one knows about, but it could really help? Have we got a chance to develop that conversation? So we start with thinking about ourselves, about you, and then we think about how that might extend to the team and to our wider work environment. So I really am encouraging people to try and expand their thinking here and think about how their work relates to and impacts on that of others and of our wider team. A little bit of reflective practice here, but during the lockdown period, people will have had ideas. They will have thought, if we were doing this differently, it could make a great impact. It could be new knowledge, it could be just rehashed knowledge, it doesn't actually matter. Is it something new that I can bring into my workplace that will have a really positive effect? Let's see if we can pull out some of those ideas, tease out some of those thoughts, and see if we can design them into practice as we move forward. I'm a great believer in people taking breaks, so if we're doing this virtually, if we're doing this online, so propose just have 10 minutes and hang out with each other if you want to, have WhatsApp conversations with each other if you want to. Other platforms are available, but it's actually just giving a bit of a chance to let some air go through some of the ideas and conversations that we've had. So we're choosing another two out of the three following themed questions and prompts. Let's have a look and see what they are. I think that people are coming back to work and not all necessarily coming back at the same place on some sort of starting line. There will be sort of gaps in the knowledge they've acquired, the information they've been privy to, or information that's been circulated to them, or they've accessed otherwise. Really important, I feel, to allow that opportunity just to reflect and say, actually, if I had this in my kit, or I need to clarify that, I feel a lot more confident about how we're going to move forward. I know you've seen this prompt or something like it before. Quite deliberately, it gives folks who maybe thought, actually, no, I won't do this one. in the first tranche, it gives them an opportunity to have another go at it in a slightly different format. So what have you learned, and what are you going to keep, and what are you going to carry forward? I suppose there's an ancillary question there, or an additional question, and what are you going to share? So, you know, what are our thoughts about sharing knowledge amongst our team? This allows us to build on these four, I think, very simple but quite powerful questions. And this is what it is we're hoping to integrate into future practice. So a straightforward chance for folks to say, if I were doing more of this, it would be better because. If I were doing less of this, it would improve because. I think the important thing here is that we keep the focus on an improvement agenda. And yes, everybody can have another break now because they're coming back to the hardest bit. They've got to have 3 out of 4 instead of 2 out of 3. And again, this is pretty much in the spirit of tell us what it is you want to see. I'm pretty sure you can understand that some of those questions leave us a bit of a hostage to fortune, but never mind, we'll just have to roll with that one. But what we are asking here is, what shape do you want the future to be? And also, what are you prepared to commit to in order to contribute to the design and delivery of that shape? Again, possibly high risk stuff here. We do chance an answer that we don't want to hear, but look, let's go with that one, because I'm hoping that by the time we reach this particular phase of the process, people are fully committed to a positive, forward-looking approach. So I'm looking for that inspirational thread that, you know, what gets you up in the morning and what brings you to work. What is the it that makes you proud to be the person you are in the team you're in? I'll pop this one in because it's a running thread, you know, in the work we've done. Communication arises time and time again. Well, that's fine. So tell us what good communications look, feel and sound like to you, and what gets in the way of it, and what would you do to improve them. Can you see, once more, putting the emphasis on the participant, so that we're not upwardly donating, we're actually seeing this as a shared issue that we need to address and address together. We've often been faced with a challenge: we need a new computer, we need a new network, we need new systems, we need different software. And I think, well, yeah, go on then, get all of that, but if you're not making best use of time, space, people and ideas, it really isn't going to make the difference you would like it to. So I'm trying to capture here the very best thinking about how we can utilise these 4 critical areas in a different way, particularly as we're moving forward into a very different context. So there we are, that's me done. That's an introduction to a piece of work that I hope we have an opportunity to talk about and maybe even deliver together. Please don't hesitate to get in touch. Happy to have a conversation with you, no obligation, and we'll see where it goes from there. Thanks very much for your time.